One of the things that uh, our team has been kind of throwing around, and we've done some stuff on boundaries.me, and I've written about this in places, is the topic of willpower. A lot of research going on in recent years, the last 5 to 10 years, on the strength of willpower is where a lot of that is focused. And what the researchers kind of say is that, even your willpower, when you think you have it, it's it's sort of like a muscle. It can get fatigued, and they show this a lot of places. You put somebody in a tired situation, or they've had to make too many choices, or they've resisted temptation over and over and over, but it keeps wearing them down. Now that one, which I think is one of the reasons, one of my favorite verses, the Bible doesn't say resist temptation. It never says that. Did you know that? You ought to go read it. It's in there. All these things I talk about, they're in there. It doesn't say resist temptation. It says flee. Flee temptation. It's like, remember Joseph? He ran out of there. Okay. So probably one of the reasons to flee is, first of all, you get too close to the fire, you get burned. But even if you think you're not going to get burned, the strength that you're using to not get burned is going to kind of diminish. There's a host of other reasons. But the thing about willpower, I want to look at a little bit, because here's the reason behind. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Now that I'm thinking about this, I started to say why New Year's resolutions fail. 90 something% of them are gone in a handful of weeks. Why? Because people think I'm just going to choose differently. Well, with what? What's going to make you able to choose differently on January 1st that you didn't possess on December 31st? You're going to wake up and your chooser is stronger. Your overwhelming addictive desires have lessened because you slept overnight and made a different choice. Why do you think you can pull this off? I mean, okay, I'm going to go choose. I'm a golfer. I'm going to go choose. I'm going to choose to win the U.S. Open this year. Really? Good luck. Okay. See, choice is an essential ingredient that God has wired into the universe. It kind of, in fact, he says it's even for freedom. If you go to Galatians 5, a lot of people ask, why did Jesus do all this? Well, you get a lot of answers, but it tells us it's for freedom that he set us free. He set us free from it says all the yokes and bondages of slavery, back to the original way we were created to be free. Because if you can be free, then you can choose to love. You can choose to do good stuff. But if you're not free, you can't do it because you're a slave. And even if you pull it off, it's really not. You're just kind of like the old kid. I'm sitting down on the inside, but I'm standing up on the outside. And compliance really isn't integration of goodness. But this freedom thing, assuming that somebody is free to make another choice. Have you ever heard this one? Oh, well, she'd do it if she really wanted to. Are you kidding me? We think motivation is the top priority in reaching a goal. All research has debunked that. That's not true. In fact, go to Romans 7. What does it say? The good that I want to do. Paul's plenty motivated. I want to do these good things. The good that I want to do, I don't do it. And the bad stuff I don't want to do, I keep doing it. See, this thing about willpower, they're thinking we're just going to make a choice. That's not it. That's why you see addicts over and over again. I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit. And they try to quit and they can't. So what do? Do we throw choice out the window? No, you don't throw choice out the window because it's the bedrock of freedom. But here's what we do. We don't, in our arrogance and pride, we don't think that we can all of a sudden, being broken, incapable, immature, or otherwise incapacitated people, fearful, whatever word you want to put in there, that I'm just going to be able to choose to be something different. Okay, so what do? Humility. We humble ourselves and we say, I want to be better. Okay, you can do that. I found that I'm incapable. Oh, wait a minute, that sounds like an excuse. No, I would pretty much think that's been proven by 30 years of addiction. I found I'm incapable. So what am I going to do? Just forget about it? No, you're going to use your willpower. Now, wait a minute. I just said you're not going to use your willpower. Oh, yes, you are. But you're going to use it in a different direction. See, you still have the ability to choose. What every addict, what every hurting person, what every, all of us, wherever we find ourselves. When something is bigger than us, which depression can be, anxiety can be, addiction can be, marriage can be, any of it. When it's bigger than us, we can't say, okay, I'm going to go win the US Open. What we can do is we can use our chooser and say, I am going to see that I'm incapable of doing this by myself. I need help. That's a choice we can always make. And we can reach out to God and, as He instructs us, reach out to who He sends and who He makes available around us, or who we see on the radar screen that can help us. We can always start there, because that's a choice. Willpower. That is, we have the power to choose out of our weakness, out of our brokenness, out of our pain. We can say, help me, help me. Blessed are the poor in spirit. So even if you can't pull off what you've been trying to choose your ability to pull off, you can use that power of your will. Okay. And it's really interesting. I'll say a little more about that in a minute. We act like there's this will that's kind of like free. It's not. Both science and the Bible tell us that. Actually, the Greek word in the New Testament means desire. When God wills something, it's what He desires, and pretty much what He, unless He chooses to hold off, pretty much what He wants, He gets, right? Well, think about that with an addict. My willpower won't work. Oh, yes, it does. It works every time. If you understand that will is desire, and your desire for the drug is greater than the desire to stop, right? And that's why you got to make the choice to go have your desires healed. And these incapacity, the lack of capacity, healed and built. And so when we're weak, we can choose to get help. We can become strong. And guess what happens when you do that? See, this is the paradox of all of faith that the Bible talks about. See, we would say, choose your way to success. Because you know what that is? That's assuming self-control. Here's what the scriptures say about that. Here's what research shows too. We want an addict or anybody else, somebody with an anger problem, we want to have what? Self-control. We want a kid to be able to do their homework, self-control. Have you ever tried to tell them to just be that way? No. But if they use their choice to begin to get in a growth path, join a small group, start getting wisdom, reading the scriptures, getting other wisdom, getting help from and coaching and mentors. See, that all it takes to do those things is weakness. We can always do what comes out of our weakness. When they do that, then what happens? You do that for a little while, and then all of a sudden, some temptation comes along and they go, no, I don't want to do that. Oh my gosh, what was that? That was self-control. But what was it? It was what does the Bible say? A fruit. You can't will an apple. Tree, have an apple. No, what do? You tend to the garden. You produce the growth, and the tree changes, and the tree gets good, the fruit becomes good. So use your willpower. If something's not working in your life, stop hitting the wall and say, I need some help. Reach out to God, reach out to somebody who can help, get in a process that can strengthen you, strengthen that will. And then you're going to find fruits happening over here where life changes, but not until we change. Make the tree good and the fruit will be good. But if we still want to have good fruit and we haven't dealt with ourselves, good luck.